Hello, I have another update for you all today. So we have a couple of Blu-rays, and I think for the first time on my channel, I've ever shown some VHS tapes. I don't buy VHS tapes really. I haven't bought one in about 15 years up until now. I don't even have a VCR. I might have one in the loft, but it's not connected to anything, so can't really watch them even if I bought them. But I saw these. As you know, probably watch my videos, I'm a fan of Doctor Who, and the BBC released a few sort of limited edition tin sets of on VHS. It would be like 2 stories per tin. They did quite a few of them sort of through the 90s and early 2000s, and I saw these two listed on eBay together, and I thought they would look quite nice as display pieces, so I thought I'll pick those up, and here they are. So first up we have this Cybermen set from 2000. Includes Attack of the Cybermen and the 10th Planet. There's the back, and on the side you've got the same thing. So on the side you've got a little pamphlet advertising some of the other like Doctor Who videos and DVDs, because at this point, 2000, they were starting to release the stories on DVD, and obviously you got the 10th Planet, the very first Cybermen story, also the first regeneration story, because at the end of episode 4, William Hartnell regenerates into Patrick Troughton. So yeah, very, very historically important story. Unfortunately, the episode 4, which has the regeneration in it, no longer exists in the archive. We do have the clip, because an episode of Blue Peter used the footage of the regeneration, and that still exists. So we do have the actual regeneration scene, we just don't have the full episode, unfortunately. But and this has a reconstruction using the audio which was recorded off air, and like production photos and telesnaps, sort of reconstruct the episode. There is an animated reconstruction on the DVD, but I think the reconstruction here is also on the DVD as like a special feature, so you do get the option. Pretty good story from what I remember. I haven't seen it in a while. I do really like the Cybermen. They're one of my favourite villains. There's the tape. Gonna see what it looks like, and then inside you've got more advertising for some books, Doctor Who books. I imagine most of those books probably aren't in print anymore, because a lot of the older ones I think are like out of print now. Actually, I'll check that out. And then the second story is Attack of the Cybermen. Actually, the front cover like has them. So like it lists Attack of the Cybermen first, then the 10th Planet, even though they were made the other way around. But yeah, this is Colin Baker's Cybermen story. Not one of the better ones. It suffers from being very lore heavy. Like has a lot of callback to like earlier Cyberman stories. The trouble is, a lot of those stories are like 20 years old at this point, and Doctor Who was very rarely repeated, during its run. So, and a lot of the early Cyberman episodes didn't exist in the archives at the time anyway, so even if you did want to repeat them, you couldn't. So, like, unless you'd been watching the show since the 60s, you'd be very confused, and even then, it's like 20 years later, so you probably wouldn't remember half the stuff. So yeah, it's not the greatest story, and it's very, very shocking that it's a U, because it's got quite a nasty scene where a character gets his hands crushed by the Cybermen, and it's not like, like 18 plus level. It's fairly gory, so I would have thought this would have been a PG at least, but no, it's a U. So I wonder if the BBC weren't really paying attention when this came in for examination. But there you are. And then there's the tape, and inside it's advertising the same books. Got also has a little liner notes. Actually, does the 10th Planet have liner notes? Yes, it does. Okay, so they have liner notes as well. And that's the Cybermen set. And then from the next year, 2001, we have the Master set. This one's not, I don't know if you can see on the camera, this one's not in as nice condition. Still nice to have though. So this has Colony in Space and The Time Monster. So I guess this was the 2001 was the 30th anniversary of the Master's first appearance, which is probably why they released this set. Two of the least regarded stories featuring the Master is the little leaflet again. It's advertising the Tomb of the Cybermen DVD, but it's not the final cover. Like the actual cover did not look like that. So it's kind of interesting to have. I'm guessing most of the other stories featuring the Master had already been released on tape at this point. So it was just they just used these two because it hadn't come out yet. Yeah, the Time Monster is probably obviously these both feature John Pertwee is the Doctor, and this is probably the worst Pertwee story. Yeah, it's pretty bad from what I remember. There's the tape again, and inside the liner notes and the advertising. Yeah. And Colony in Space is... Actually, these are backwards too. Colony in Space was made first. Again, I don't know why they're in the wrong order, but... yeah. Colony in Space is... It's the first Pertwee story that was set on another planet, because during his run, he was exiled. The Doctor was exiled to Earth. And in this one, he kind of ends up going to space. It's okay. I think it suffers from the same thing a lot of Pertwee stories suffer from, is the lengths. A lot of his stories were 6 parts long, which I suppose from a production point of view, it made sense because it meant less stories. It meant you could have more money allocated, to the budget per story. Trouble is, a lot of the 6-parters are like very overlong, very padded, and they can be quite dull, really. So this suffers from that, but yeah, it's a lot better than the Time Monster. But yeah, I'll just put these in the right order. Yeah, I don't have anything to watch these on, and well, I have Attack of the Cybermen on Blu-ray and the Colony in Space on Blu-ray, and the other two are on BBC iPlayer anyway, so I can watch the episodes easily. I just got them just because they look nice on my shelf, and they do actually. My mum, when I got them and I put them on my unit, my mum came in and she said, "Oh, those look really nice." So yeah. Now we'll move on to the Blu-rays. First up, we have Celine and Julie Go Boating. It's a French film by Jacques Rivette. It's about Celine and Julie. One of them's a magician, one of them's a librarian, and they're kind of sharing a flat. And it's very surreal, but I really enjoy it. I didn't buy this on Blu-ray for the longest time because I bought the DVD, and then literally like a couple of weeks later, the Blu-ray was announced, so I didn't buy it for the longest time, just out of annoyance. But now I no longer have that DVD, and I wanted to watch it again. I thought, you know what, I'll just buy the Blu-ray, since, And then I got the disc and a booklet. Right. So it is a good film. I would recommend it if you like sort of artsy type stuff. It's very unique, and we have finally probably my favourite film. Actually, not probably. This is my favourite film of 2024. It's actually the very last film I watched in 2024. I watched it on New Year's Eve, so I guess you could say I saved the best for last. We have Hundreds of Beavers. So it's like a homage to old silent comedies, and it's about a slapstick frostbitten battle between a drunken Applejack salesman and diabolical beavers, hundreds of them, who stand between him and survival. And yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. Really, it's like I say, it's paying homage to silent film, but also Looney Tunes, types of video games and things. And it's great. It's like all the sort of the animals, including the beavers, are all played by guys in suits, and all like the backgrounds are all like animated. So it's It's great. I absolutely loved it, and it's quite inspiring too, because it was done on a low budget by, I guess, probably non-professional filmmakers, but it looks really, really good, and it's really impressive that they managed to do something so effects heavy. I mean, it's not like, full on, like, CGI battles and stuff, but the fact that amateurs with not a lot of money could make something that's quite effects heavy and looks this good and is this well made is quite inspiring. It makes you want to make a film like this yourself, really. So yeah, I absolutely adored this film. I would recommend it to everyone. Not everyone's gonna like it. I think some people will watch this and think it's a load of rubbish. But those of you who will get it will love it, I think. And then there's the disc, no booklet. This does have a nice black case there, and I don't tend to watch extra features, but I think this is one where I might watch the extra features because just to see how they did all the stuff. I think it'd be very interesting. But yeah, definitely worth a watch. And that's the end of the update. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've seen any of these, let me know what you think about them, and I will see you next time.